Hello, strangers.
Yo,
It's your favorite Bobo children,
the Boboist.
the creative wind beneath your wings. Um,
Masterminds.
I want to go that far. I can't, I mean, I'll show you how much of a mastermind I am. I can't even find my who's who thing for Chaos Scar to know who is who.
Uh, yeah, that
It's
makes it harder to know.
I'm just
Morning
nothing is
Star.
where I put it.
Well, maybe where you put it might just be that we haven't done this for months and months. You know.
I'm just no, that ain't it. I just don't know, Beard, what I have done with these things. Beardly,
Yeah.
Super Spike, commence a jiggling. Um, how are you, man? I know we just talked a little bit beforehand,
I'm
but
just
how are
tired.
you?
I'm getting over some junk and yeah, our city's under siege by our government. Like everything's just real fucked up. It's just like it's hard to go about your day trying to do all this and support where I can. It's really hard for me to be out in the cold for too long right now, and so yeah, I think it's hard to feel like you're not out boots on the ground being helpful, and that kind of feeling just is the worst. I just it yeah, there's only so much like people like gaslighting you and telling you that like this isn't going to happen when there's literally like a hundreds-page long document that says exactly what the federal government was going to do if he got reelected, and it's all happening, and I just there's no amount of righteous fury to battle the apathy of people not voting against this, and there's no amount of frustration that can possibly accurately represent how disappointing it is that 40 or whatever 20 some percent of our population decided to vote for
A
someone who's
fascist?
an incompetent fascist, or someone who allowed this to happen. It's just it's inhumane to hear people talking about people losing their life in such a callous fashion, and that like it's like people turn into a joke. It's just
I saw yesterday there was some jabronis out there who were pro ICE
yeah,
demonstrators being
yeah.
defended by.
There's a bunch of fucking January Sixers. Yeah. Anyway, how are you? How are you, Spike? How's life?
Besides all that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Yeah, right.
Um, Me, I think that I feel like I want to pick up the inside of my computer and reach into the internet and kill all of this
Yeah,
because I can't find the stuff I'm looking for.
yeah,
Um, Earlier, I couldn't get things to work.
yeah,
Um, that thing I was irritated about earlier this week, the
yeah,
communication thing? Still
yeah.
haven't heard boo.
Woof.
Um, So that frustrates me to a huge extent.
Yeah,
Just frustration. I think I'm also just super stressed about tomorrow.
yeah.
So I've got a lot of,
Big feelings.
yeah, yeah. So I figure maybe we just chit chat a little bit, come
Yeah,
up with a couple ideas, and then if you're down, maybe you and I just play some shit offline.
yeah. That sounds great.
Um,
Hey, I do want to share, especially since Spike is in the chat, that I finally looked at my little like Discord in review search bar. Spike says waits for King to ban me.
No.
Is the three people that I interacted with most on Discord last year. You are obviously in that three. Our good friend Joel, and then Super Spike. So Super Spike, I'm so happy that we got to like meet through all of my brother's shenanigans, and you know, it really is great to like get to meet people from all over the place and, you know, share things. So yeah, man, thanks for hanging out, and I'm glad we get a chance to chat and clown on everybody, and just enjoy life a little bit more together. So yeah, very cool. One person was always my go-to. Oh, I sent 520 messages to you last year.
See, I don't get any of those. Apparently that they must be on YouTube talking to you. No,
it's on Discord. There's like a Discord in review.
Oh, okay. No. I'm talking about chat right now. No.
Oh. In YouTube.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
Thresher, speed orc band of our speed metal band of orcs, horticulture led by Thick Lizzie, a gnome. They play like Church of the Cosmic Skull, female minotaur on drums, a backup singer. Section made up of people dressed in overalls made of potato sacks and potato sack hoods.
Now I want to like share all of the funny names for bands that we had for our Bard one. So many good ones. That's so funny. I love it. Yeah. Danny Breeze and the boys. Oh, Bjork Bork, which was like, did I ever tell you about this? I had this like idea that I would do the Swedish Chef, but in Bjork's voice. And it's like, you know, when people talk about, right? You know, when people talk about like NPC voices, like breaking your brain because you like can't get back into it, you know? Here, chicky poo. Everything is music, Bjork Bork. Anyway, yeah, we had Elton Fond, the Natural Ones drummer, but yeah, good times.
All right, I got to think of 3 options to give them, so I need just little bullets. So the first one I already had, which is the ham farm.
Farm woman. Sorry.
So the ham farm is going to be occupied by Elle and Del Ham. They are half giants who were raised by a human. They don't really go to town because when he was 14, Del was attacked by the former mayor's brother, and Del beat him up real bad because he's humongous, even though this man was a massive human who went so far as to draw a knife in this fight and stab a 14-year-old. But then, of course, went to his brother afterwards and was like, well, he tried to kill me. So they went out to the farm. 7 deep, 2 came back.
Whoa.
I kind of have this thing in mind of like when Jefferson, God, I can't remember his name, the NPC that the PCs kind of hang out with, tells the story that he went out there a few days later. Don't take your hams to town, exactly.
Or they have the water deep hams.
He went out there and he saw 2 tombstones, and he said, well, you know, you could have had their bodies go back to town. And Delham says, those aren't for those guys. Those are for the 2 dogs they killed. Well, where are the bodies? We fed them to the pigs. Type of thing. That type of thing. Like, yeah, I won't be going to town anymore.
Yeah.
Like, these were shitty humans, and they got what they deserved. But
yeah,
still, you know, and thinking of like a 14-year-old boy who is already almost tall and as wide as I kind of the thing I was thinking of is like when he's described that at like 14 he's as tall as a Clydesdale's head, and as wide as a court draw or a cart drawn by horse. Just this massive, and the idea this guy attacks him, and then at one point somebody leans in and says, "Just fall down and close your eyes, and it'll be over." So he does it, and then he looks up and says, "Like that." And then it just pisses the guy off more, so he grabs a knife, like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you for humiliating me."
Yeah.
The PCs go out there because of Jeff, who knows them and says they don't ask for help from Burwitch ever. They don't want anything to do with Burwitch. But they've been getting attacked by a flock of wyverns.
Yeah.
So they get out, they can go help them with that, and that'll lead to kind of like what's going on up in the Tor with the mine, with the silver mine. Also, they've been keeping their breeding stock. They know a witch, and she gave them a spell, and they keep a little group of pigs in a sty inside of a glass bottle, like a mini farm, because they're losing their hogs to these wyverns.
Sick. We love it.
So there's one.
Yeah. Mitch asks if they have a sauna, and if so, are they steamed hams?
No.
So she's the ham switch. Good morning, Mitch.
Yes.
So
I'm trying to think of a couple. I got really hung up on this idea, and my brain has been like just putting all this effort effort into that. Like it's not able to get out of that. So
yeah.
So I've been trying to think of other things.
Do you have any kind of particular kind of balance of these things, or can they be kind of any theme? Like
they can be anything. I mean, the PCs at second level fought a goddamn baby dragon, so
fair.
And they've had to run a couple times from old Gem Crest.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts about are there any NPCs in town that make something that might require an ingredient that would be harder to find, or something that like they might need to travel for, like some supplies been cut off by bandits, so you could, either explore the reason for the stuff not getting there, or you could go out and try to find it, on your own using more. Yeah.
I wondered what happened when we had viewers and then everyone just dropped off, but this is the universe telling me like today's not your day, boss.
Yeah.
So then we need to come up with some names real quick. Gene and Hetty. I need a good last name.
Sweeney.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sweeney's Farm.
Oh, could you? Oh, I'll let you finish this one. But
I
have another idea.
Just L and no, it's not L. It's Ella and Del Ham. And then we can put butchers on the wing. Weird. Well, thank you guys for not like just being like fuck you then. A farm, a sinkhole is opened up and appears to lead into a stone structure. From the look at ground level, it is not sure how deep it or wide it goes. Back, we started because I thought it was me, but it has done it twice to me. Also can get YouTube to load for a bit either. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. I've had one of these days. This entire morning's kind of been like this, so don't feel bad. We're just fucking around. So trying to get just some ideas jotted down. Try and allude that it might even be a lost. Damn it, what is his name? All of a sudden, I honestly, I can't remember anything all of a sudden, and I don't have I can't find my worksheet with all my information on it, making it harder to find the names. I wonder if they got put in here. This is just worksheets, huh? Yeah, so I have a worksheet that like I have, and I don't know where it went. I have a Chaos Scar like folder.
Yeah.
That's got all my stuff in it.
Yeah.
Let's just see if that's.
Yeah, Mitch, if you want to toss some stuff in the chat, we could definitely chat about that after we wrap up these hooks. That'd be great.
Oh, here it is. Of course. Exactly where I put it.
You got to get you a Notion, baby.
That would require for me to put a bunch of stuff in Notion.
Yeah, but then it's all interlinked, and you could just click from thing to thing, and it's so nice.
I'm sure it is, but plus I'm just out of practice of doing this, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Scribbs, Anson Scribbs, played by old Chris Christopherson.
Nice.
And then I gotta find my other notes, things and stuff and things. Of course. Oh, damn. Here was my pitch. The player's document for Chaos Scar.
Yeah.
I started doing prep stuff in 2022 for this game.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey man, it goes fast.
Oh, hey, I finally find the players' names at least. The PC's names.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help. It's gone fast too because we haven't been able to play for however long.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention very well.
You don't need to be paying attention.
I know we've played since 2024, so I'm looking at that thinking like, what?
Maybe you're just going from those notes, though,
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that at all, but that's okay, I guess. Yeah, I got to figure out from Cassandra like where she lives.
Yeah.
Where she decided to have her character live. Oh, that fucked up everything, huh? That fucked up all my formatting, even though I didn't ask it to do that. Can I go back to? Yes. Okay, good. Anyway, I'm I think I'm just I think I'm a little bit just all thrown off. Sorry about that. Earthbane.
Earthmane? Oh, Earthmane. Okay. Fine.
So before the Chaos Scar happened, there was a Goliath wizard whose first name escapes me, but his last name's Earthmane, and he didn't have like a keep, even though it looked like he did.
Yeah.
He had a keep, but he had a portal in it, and that portal led to a central portal room, which led to all these other portals.
Okay.
So his actual where he lived was just spread all out. He had just like, my library is here, where I sleep is here, my armory is here, and all his portals had portal keys. Like the one that they found is chalk. It's like a magical chalk, and you have to have that in order to open portals. And one of his ancestors, they know, who's taken over one of the keeps and is trying to taken over the old keep and is trying to open all of them. They helped him. Now you're thinking with portals, exactly. So I don't know where that idea came from. The character came from the original Chaos Scar 4th edition adventure path, but which I've used less and less as we've gone along. All right. Anyway, you had an idea.
Animal that people thought was extinct that like is showing up kind of out in the wilderness, that has some sort of hook around, a valuable aspect of them, whether it's their pelt or if it's something lucky or if it's something that's a spell component that they were kind of hunted into excuse me, extinction, and like whether like seeing these new ones is like, did they actually escape to the Feywild Um,
Gary and Earl both love magic mushrooms, and Earl backward hands now has his hand swapped. Gary's full name is Gary Aloysius Poopy Hands. I know y'all were involved in that. That is some fucking prep school bullshit right there.
yeah.
What magic items might they acquire? Fancy ass ingredients. Robust Steve the Robust, Steve's Thick Almanac. Okay, I like that idea. Here's my thing with it. We have old Gem Crust.
Who's old Gem Crust?
He is a gargantuan, almost gargantuan sized boule who's covered in gems.
Yeah.
In his hide. And he's this thing that it does not sound like a me thing. How dare you? He is not something they can just attack.
Yeah.
He's too big. He's too dangerous. It's something that it's like an environmental hazard more than anything else. But wintertime, he tends to go away and he doesn't always come back. He has different hunting grounds. So it's been winter. And that's one thing I eventually want to get to, maybe in an adventure or two, that the seasons haven't changed. Winter's been like 5 months longer than it should be. And it's because the winter court has the Fey Winter Court has done a coup, and the PCs are going to have to go in there and negotiate for spring and summer. But I like the idea of something like that. So I think maybe something. Maybe finding a corpse of something that doesn't live in that area, something very unusual. So what we need to think of a good D&D monster that is.
I think finding something like, where people would be like, oh yeah, this is the pelt of a chupacabra, but it's like mangled or something like that, and you're kind of like, is it though? But like people, maybe there's somebody in town that like really wants to confirm, like, is this actually a thing, or is this just
Jeff?
Jefferson?
He is that guy.
Yeah,
he is kind of their, My Girl Friday.
Yeah,
as well as he is also like a collector that he's literally based off one of the characters from Mountain Monsters.
Yeah,
so he's named after him too.
So I think somebody else finding it, but him wanting it confirmed.
Okay,
this is like actually a thing and not just.
Could it be like a Fiji mermaid situation then?
Where yeah, absolutely.
It's just someone pretending.
It could be, yeah, and I don't know. I just think it's interesting to be like, walking that line between like, is it or isn't it? I think that those always make for good intrigue. You could even give the players, different interactions with people, or they could come to it from different standpoints. Like one of them could have like had someone swear up and down that this thing was that, and like have them like really convinced that it is, and then someone else could be like, this is all a ruse, and they're using this to like show off this, corpse that, is actually, just a kind of desecrated, animal pelt from this other species. And like, it'd be really interesting if they kind of like came to it or met people that like, talked about it in different ways. But,
so what should the animal be?
I don't know. I guess it would depend on like what's rare for that area, or what would be rare enough.
Well, I like the magpie idea, Mitch, a lot. That's a good one. Rare for that area. Well, I just think picking something that is rare in general. Let's see here.
How about a Destrichan?
Oh, isn't that the thing that like shoots sound waves?
It's like the weird reptile dinosaur boy that shoots sound waves. It's basically like if a dinosaur and the warden from Minecraft bone down.
Let me look here really quick too.
Or you could go something more similar to like an Arania, so it has that kind of like Name of the Wind kind of vibe to it, like these what were those called, like Skrulls or something like that.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
It's the Name of the Wind spider. Skrae'll. They're spider-like creatures considered to be demons by common folks. From Pat Roth.
Yeah. I'm aware of the book. I just don't remember the monster. It's been a long time since I've read those books. A Catoblepus is also is a good one. The Destrin and the Catoblepus are also, I think, really, really good. I think I'm just being a butt about it. I think we go with the Destrin. It's such a weird, deep pull.
Yeah.
I think that it's we can also say it's an animal that hasn't been seen in this area since before even before the fall. DSTRACHAN.
DESTRACHAN. Yep. I put a link in the private.
God damn, how could I have got that correct? Your boys played a huge amount of D&D. Froghemoth. I'm saving my Froghemoth.
That's what they always say. For a rainy day.
Desterchan, but Jefferson isn't sure that it is the bona fide real deal. So he asks the PCs to investigate all the possibilities. Is it real?
I don't know. That's for you to know and them to find out.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I mean, what is your feelings? Should it be real?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that it has to be a Desterchan, but I mean, I think that something's out there, I mean, that makes me think of like, well, what looks like a Desterchan, or what could be made up to be a Desterchan? Like, is there a similar creature that's more or less terrifying? That seems interesting.
The Desterchan has like a close related thing. It's called like an ingester. I think it's called an ingester. Like it spits acid out of its mouth. It's real weird looking.
Yeah.
Where are the tools to take away that, to change the colors and everything on it? I hate this. I hate it. It's going to stay that way. Okay, so I'll put these up today, and I'll think real hard about whether or not that's a real Desterchan, because they look like dinosaurs. What if it's an actual fucking dinosaur?
Sure, yeah, do whatever.
I love the Scooby-Doo plot thing. That's why I'm thinking of like the Fiji mermaid type of situation.
Yeah.
That's about the time those old Duke boys. Yeah, there's a lot of monsters out there, Super Spike, especially in like second edition, who just feel like weird D&D taxidermy, where people are like, "Oh, let's push these things together."
Yeah.
Ethereal Marauder, which is one of my favorites, feels like that. I do like the fact that it's an animal that doesn't always exist in our dimension, so you just got to catch it when it does. There's also a monster called the Ethereal Filcher, which steals from you. It jumps in and out of reality and just pickpockets you.
Yeah.
And it looks crazy. It has like one leg, like 5 toes, like it hops. So yeah, there's a lot of those monsters that I really like. Yeah. You're right, Spike. It does feel like a Scooby Doo plot, and that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I love the idea that it's a Scooby Doo plot. To be honest with you.
I think we canonize that in our notes. Then
Yeah.
that way we can kind of name who's doing it and why.
Yeah.
This is a Scooby and is being perpetrated by one. We need a name. Need a good name of someone who would do Scooby Doo plot.
Oh.
Wait. Okay, what am I waiting on?
Horace Turnbow.
Oh, Horace Turnbow's good.
Thank you.
Why?
That's you're waiting for. He doesn't like.
Remember, Scooby Doo dudes are. Yeah, Filcher. Oh, sorry. Look up Ethereal Filcher if you haven't seen it before. It's what? So remember, Scooby Doo plot. Almost anyone who does that is after Moolah. So what would they be doing?
He wants to have these guys find out and discredit Tiburon. Is this Tiburon, right?
Tiburon's not the like guy to discredit here, though. It would be Jefferson, because Jefferson's like the old man in Burwich who was like collecting conspiracies and items.
I was just thinking that like this is someone who doesn't like new people coming to town, so he wants to like.
What if he wanted the building?
Sure.
But then the monster's not attached to the building at all.
Yeah. But it's not about whether the monster's attached to the building or not. It's about discrediting the person who has the building so he can get the building. Like that's how you get that degree of separation in almost all like Scooby things that like allows the Scooby plot to still work even though you're like in your 40s. Where kind of like
he wants them to say it's real so he can say no, it's not.
And then he can like pull the rug out from under them and be like, no, they come into our town and they're like telling us all these fake things and they're reinforcing this goofball's fantasies and you're making the frontier unsafe. Like this is a civilized place and you want it to be this weird fantastical thing so you can sell your wares or you can take over our land and like, you know, make money off of us and blah, blah, blah. And yeah. Yeah.
Where did he get the body? How did he do it?
That I don't know.
He should have like I don't like meta plot, but I like the idea of there's somebody in the background who's like setting us up for a bigger thing. I think maybe Cornelius von Sternbau is involved in this because I really like that name, Mitch. Elected office, but I mean, like, no one's going to run against the necromancer, I don't think. Where's the meat come from? Where's the meat come from? Horace
Turnbow
was given the body by a who would Cornelius be though? Because we're not like in an area where Cornelius is like, oh, I need this rich deposit. Could Cornelius von Sternbau
I'll be right back.
Be a part of So Cornelius is a rank lower than Amelia. I like it. We're building up a secret society. By one Cornelius von Sturm, bow at the behest of his sister Amelia. She is a part of a secret society known as the I like the idea of a lich. Oh, a golem. I like that idea too. But a golem would be easy to find out, just because it's a non-living thing as opposed to a living thing. Let's see here. Let's use a secret society name generator. When in doubt. No. God, these are all like too much. I do like the name the Grand Knot a lot. I like the following of the blank knot.
Are you talking about like not like Gordian knot, or not like knot?
No, like Gordian.
Okay.
That's so weird that the thing keeps being all messed up today.
Yeah, the live counter starts it like restarts every once in a while too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it just restarted again for me.
I'm trying to think of a good adjective for knot. That's the only thing that it's not it's not overly like sounds sinister. I want it to sound
Salubrian.
like I've thought about that a whole bunch of times. I'm kind of enlightened kind of works. I like it enlightened better than like wise.
Beneficent.
I like beneficent. It's a good I like fetid, but not in this case. Illuminated's good. Beneficent or illuminated? What do you think?
I mean, I said beneficent, so I just vote for beneficent, but well, it's not all about me.
I think we're gonna go with illuminated. A threat TBD.
Yeah.
They want the Finders Guild to be discredited. Okay, cool. There's our three things to pitch.
Did it.
Should I pitch them with a small write-up, or should I just pitch them by the names? Pictures on the Wing, The Hole in Sweeney's Farm, or That Ding Dang Corpse?
I think that they're all pretty good names generally.
If you were going to play,
Yeah.
would you prefer to know, like, hey, what kind of adventure or is this, or would you be like, oh, I want to the name kind of I think the name would be.
I mean, I could pick based on those three names. I don't know that that's true of all named adventures, but you could always say that they could ask more, but they might not like what they hear.
That's fair. I think we'll go by name, and then I think we'll go by name, and then they'll know more, because then we can save the other ones.
Yeah.
All right. I will. We won't know anything then I'm gonna put it up for like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then once I know, we'll flesh it out.
Yeah.
But I want to save it. Can I download it?
Download as a document or document.
Now I got to do this. I'm so whiny today.
Beard. You can just name it too. Like just copy and paste that into the title and keep it as a Google Doc too, just in case.
Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? I don't mess with name.
No, just click where it says untitled document.
Okay.
Up. Click that there. Boom. Now just click in your document again.
Cool.
And then you can download it, and it'll download as that.
I'm going to leave it like this because then I can come back to it. It's like picking out a book by title. It is something Cassandra does not like. I think that's all I got today.
Mitch was asking if we had a couple minutes, if we wanted to give him some feedback on,
of course,
something he was doing.
Mitch always.
Yeah.
When I'm in my screen share. Meanwhile, Rick James takes her nude. There's nothing I can do.
You remember Travis Huckabeagle? Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I do.
D&D was fun. It was real dumb.
There's another guy I wouldn't mind talking to. I wonder how he's doing.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Mitch, lay it on us.
Yeah.
Do you want me to send you a link that we can just talk to us? You don't have to show yourself.
Show yourself.
Show yourself.
Man, we had some good names for episodes of D&D. Were you still playing? Oh yeah, you were, when we encountered the Gossamer Cutlass and Yosu Nube. Episode 14 of D&D was called Nube Who Dis. Hey, got it.
Got it in one.
In one. Yeah. Also, the first time we had Kara and Chris on together, we called it Welcome to Punderdome. I do like that.
That's definitely something.
I also feel like I can type it out, but could I get it?
Mitch,
Hello.
Hello?
you look great. I like
Thank
the
you.
hair.
It's getting in the way, but also the beard is going away this weekend.
What?
Yes.
The beard looks good, man.
Beard is forever. I'm biased.
It's getting in the way of food again.
Okay, that's fair.
Tis
Also,
the
this is
season.
only like 2 months.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
All right, lay it on us.
All right, so like I've been doing like a campaign with like my like friends and like people from like work things up a lot, and I'm like really trying to convince myself like not to like do like twist in like the settings. So right now we're sort of set in like Planescape and the Outlands and Sigil. All that, like really like it, but then like have you seen like this unofficial like Ghibli inspired campaign setting Ojimbo?
Yeah.
Have it. Yeah.
Like really inspired about that, and like kind of just like I'm trying to stop myself from just like pivoting and just like sending them off into like sort of like this sort of like suburb inspired fantasy setting where like my idea was like this like the big bad, which didn't turn out to be the big bad, but just like how things are rolling and how they're interacting with one character is making it go that way, which I'm perfectly fine with. Like I'm fine going the direction that they want, but also I'm just trying to like basically like how do you stop yourself from like you have this idea what you really want to follow, but it's not like what everyone got into the campaign with? And like how do you like sort of like temper like these ideas that you have, like even so like you can provide a good experience for your players?
James, I'll let you go first.
Oh, thanks.
I can answer first if you'd prefer, but
no, I can jump in. Yeah, I think that's really, I think it's a challenge that ends up happening anytime you have players that want a certain amount of control, whether they are, kind of recognizing the amount of extra work that it goes in to kind of keep that sandbox open. I think that's one of the most challenging things.
Secret, they aren't.
But but even if they are, I mean, I've definitely had times where people are like, "Hey, I realized that wasn't really where this was going, but like it was a really great session." I think that's, I mean, those are the rewarding times. But I think that there's also like to a certain extent, like a little bit for you, a little bit for me, figuring out kind of where you can get in aspects of the kind of gameplay or setting or characters that maybe they are being introduced to a character that will lead them to the thing that you were interested in doing or put time into prep, so that you're not like kind of railroading them into having to do that, but that like you're creating something so enticing. Like we kind of like in conversations about AI, we have conversations where it's kind of like or people saying I don't want to go on a field trip. We say okay, well, but if you can totally do that. Like I understand it. Like maybe you don't have this or this is an obstacle or you don't want to or whatever. Here's an alternative, and it might be more arduous than actually just doing the thing. It's like incentive through disincentive, and I think that can be like having a incentive through disincentive, a kind of a seed planted, and just kind of throwing your hands up and going, all right, we'll just do what you want to do. I think that all three of those, I think you'll end up getting more bees with honey by
Vinegar.
Yeah, with vinegar sometimes. Like if everything else is vinegary, then like that like non-vinegary thing all of a sudden starts smelling pretty sweet. But I mean,
false choice model.
Yeah. So
I give you two. If you can only handle two choices, I give you three. But the third choice is something I know you won't want to do.
Yeah.
But so it makes you feel like you have all these options when the reality is you have a binary option. Or I give you 4, and I know you can really only handle 3. So
also like the other challenge which I have is just like like we're still at like the start. Like so we initially had like two new players, one new player's like dropped out. So I'm still like so this is their like first combat session and all that. Honestly, this group also like took like a month to get characters together. So it's like so it's like a little frustrating on that and like things are going slow and like I wanted to like have fun. Like also I'm not sure if like the other new player is going to like stick around. And like I have another player which was originally supposed to join but like couldn't join for a while. So I'm trying to find the way to like integrate them back in.
Go into West
And
March's style.
yeah,
Just you have a cadre of people, and then they have to get it together. You're like, hey,
yeah,
here's my available dates. It's first come, first serve. I have five. This is what Chaos Scar was at the beginning. I have 5 slots. Do I need 5 players? No, but I'm not going to run for. I'm not going to run for 2 people. Now I'll run for 2 people because I've found running for 2 people is great. But you know, it's you've got these slots. If you when Chaos Scar started, I had to turn some people away, and I'm sure I lost some players over it. Where I was like, it's 5 slots. You're 6th or 7. Sorry, try again next month. Um, but yeah, at the same time, I would say, what does your player do in that time period? Because Chaos Scar for me is literally a month goes by between each thing. Um, so you know, West March is ostensibly is based upon this idea that the players have to take some responsibility on setup and organization, that it doesn't have to fall on you because you're too fucking busy doing everything else. um, as far as combat, in all the games I have, there's times we don't fucking fight at all. They just want to fuck around. So that's and in role play, and I love that. So also, I think giving them options to where they don't have to fight, non-combat options are fantastic. And last but not least, when it comes down to it, you have to enjoy it. If you're running for others and you hate it, it's not going to last because you're just going to be like, I fucking do not enjoy this.
No, and yeah, so I like that. And like this group, like right now, like with the composition, but like one of the people dropping out, so like it's very for lack
Why
of
do
a
they
term,
drop?
like
Can I ask why they dropped?
so they were like a late addition to like the group anyways. They joined up because someone else was going to be playing, but like they are, for lack of a better term, flaky in general. So basically, like they have canceled before, so we pushed like sessions before, and like we were supposed to play this last Thursday. They and like everyone was ready to go and all that. Then they like literally like so we go after like work. They said they weren't going like 5 minutes before we left work.
Then run
And
without them.
yeah. And like there was other things, so just like push like that. So yeah, and it's like so I like running and I do want to like do like a campaign for like people, but like I think like part of the problem is like we committed to like said like we'll do it like every 2 weeks or something, and like it really hasn't done that. And like I feel like part of the problem was like some of these players and just like all that, just like not wanting to commit or like can't commit and all that. Also just like the one friend who really asked to like do it, like they have like a very like non-traditional like character, like for like motivations. It's like a Mothkin, like not motivated by like the standard thing. So like trying to like understand like that character to like get them like motivated. Like their main motivation is just like, for lack of a better term, like their hedonistic hunger for clothing.
Yeah.
So
When people do very niche things, I try to tell them when we're having that conversation, I'm like, hey, do you realize like this is niche compared to the rest of the group? So if you want to do this and you want me to help you with it, you're going to have to feedback loop and tell me like, You're going to have to give me some reasons to build in reasons for you. Because otherwise, this is a group game, and I can't just run it for one. I can't just run the game for you. Because if I do that, then I'm going to be running the game for just you. Because everyone else is going to be like, yeah, I don't really understand what's going on, and nor do I care.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
So it sucks.
Yeah,
I hate
and-
saying that because usually people who want to run play real weird stuff and be real niche are the people who really want to play. You know?
Yeah. And they really do. And like, so I want to do that. And
They'll run something on the side for just them. Run a single player thing. Single player, 2-player stuff can be so damn rewarding because people get a chance to like not feel overwhelmed. And they can do whatever they want. Run it parallel. So you are running both games, but yet they intertwine so you don't have to do a bunch of additional prep. So when I ran in 4th edition, I had 4 groups for a while. And so every weekend I ran for a different group. And there were people who played in multiple groups, but they all were kind of treading through the same area. So like one group would do something and it would affect group 3. And group 3 would be like, what the fuck happened here? And people would be like, oh, these people came in and did this thing. And they would be like, oh, well, fuck those people. Or, oh, we got to find those people. And one of my groups I had a group of evil players. And they were constantly doing shit to fuck with the other 3 groups. But it works because they were all running on parallel tracks through the same terrain, but having no cross. Even though people would ask constantly, like, well, when are we going to meet first group? Or when are we going to do this? And I'd be like, you're not. It's not going to happen. We're not going to do PvP D&D. So at one point, I even handed over GMing so I could play in one group for 6 months. Because I was like, oh, I got an idea that then was built to carry on the narrative forward. So I had a player for a while, and once I was ready to DM again, I was lucky because one of the other players decided to kill my player. And I said, fuck yeah. But it affected everything else going forward. And not the way they thought it was going to.
so like, quick question, like I still don't know like all the resources out there. Is there like a D&D compatible like rule set that has like combat, which you don't need a map for?
Yeah. You don't need a map for D&D. It's hard to train people who have only been, I hate to use that word, train people, but who've only done D&D via like Roll20 or maps. Like my wife she loves miniatures and maps and buildings and hates Theater of the Mind. She does it because she wants to play. But I think laying out Theater of the Mind and explaining like in the most simplistic terms of like, one of the things is like range. People get all like in a tizzy over range. I just tell them like, you're in melee, you're near, or you're far. That's it.
Okay.
You want feet?
No,
I'll make up a number, but you can't hold me to it.
Okay, so basically like instead of like doing rules as written, basically you just like, sort of like fudge it and just like.
I mean, even it says in the DMG, it still says these are just these are just suggestions. They're not rules. Like they're not hard and fast rules. I would say if you're looking for something a little less intense, Cairn is good. Knave is good. They're literally just like pamphlet D&D. I really like Cairn a lot. If you want something that CAIRN, and the Knave is KNAVE. And I can help you even more than that if you give me a second.
And I'll say I've never run with maps. I've always run Theater of the Mind, so I don't know really anything different. I mean, the only times I've played with maps is when we've done it for Extra Life as like a visual thing. But I think part of that is, the reason is in previous editions, they went hard on miniatures and like selling people and like bringing people that played, war games and MMORPGs online into it. And so I think that, for me, I played very little of 4th edition. And so, when I joined, Ben's group for the first time right at the end of the 4th edition, then into 5th edition, I never really played with it. So I do something similar with what Ben says, but I usually, like, at the beginning of each encounter, I'll tell them how big of a room they're in, or the kind of general lay of the land, saying, this is a cavernous room. It gives me a chance to flavor it a little bit too, so that like they can understand that there's some challenging terrain, or that there's opportunities, there's stalagmites or stalactites, or there's growth on the walls or moss, or how they could use the environment to their advantage, because then they're not excuse me they're not counting squares. They're thinking about how they can interact with the environment. And I find that while it does require some kind of players kind of retraining their brain to think like that, I think that the narrative ends up being, they're usually asking how far away they're from somebody to see if they can do something really cool, or that they can get to them that turn. And I'll just say, you can get to them this turn, rather than saying
you have this so many feet to like.
Yeah.
Well, I would also, one thing I always tell them too is what do you see?
Yeah.
What do you see? And they might be like, well, I see a chandelier that I can swing from.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you can.
Really cool.
Yeah, really cool, baby. I don't let you go crazy. Like, you don't get to go buck nutty on me. But if I tell them, like, my job is to make a game where you guys are having a fucking blast. I am your biggest fans. Like, I root for you. However, if you're gonna do a bunch of stupid shit, like, it doesn't mean there's no consequence. If you fuck around, you will find out. But I'm your biggest fans. I want it to be a fun story, you can tell. And sometimes there's sad stories.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Spike, thank you for the joke. That's really good.
Yes.
So I do appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah, like, honestly, that's like good advice. Like, this is like been like the main like loggerhead which I've been like having with it. It's just like for me, just like assembling things in like Roll20 like takes like a lot of time, and like if like they want to do something else, like, okay, then I would have to like stop and like pivot or something, and I don't want that like game. I don't want to railroad them. I want them to be able to like explore and do like the weird dumb shit that they seem that they want to do, and I want to like provide that for them. But it's just like, and that is like why like initially like I was just like, how I played is just like in person, and we had like a whiteboard with a grid, and people would just like draw the map on there and like have the mini. So there was that. So basically having then to like switch over to Roll20, which people are like more accustomed like wanted to do because of like character creation, like keeping like the stacks, not having to take care of paper, which I'll be honest, the vast majority of my folks are heavily neurodivergent and ADHD up the ass. So remembering paper.
Yeah.
But you can always do
so,
paper and then take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
and that's fine too. It's I think you have to you have to, if you want to play in a game, it has to be fun for everybody. And that includes the person running the game. If it's not, then I'll be honest, it's pointless. Because you're going to get burned out and you're not going to want to run anymore. I have been in that space. I have definitively been like, I don't want to do this. And someone's asked me, well, why? I was like, because I don't want to run for you guys.
Yeah.
It's not because I don't like you. It's just because running for you is a headache. It's not fun. Like, you have sapped all the fun out of it for me. And I think that's a big thing that people don't understand. The amount of time you put in to running a game is like a job. And if like I'm going to put that much time in, I better have fucking fun. Because if I don't, I'm not going to do it. Because I could be playing a video game. I could be doing anything else. So when I hear people, like I try to tell people, like I've had this conversation before, I've gotten very adamant. I am not your fucking entertainment. Like I'm happy to run but I want it to be a fun back and forth. If you're like, I just want you to fill my time like you're a television show, not for me.
No.
I'm not your guy.
No, but like, thank you. This has been like really helpful because it's just like I like combat's like fine for me, but it's not like what I really like enjoy about like D&D too much. So I know for some people, yeah, it's just like rolling all the dice is fun, but it's more just like problem solving and getting into it, and just like also I feel like how especially like on Roll20, at least in my experience, like combat like sort of breaks it because it's very much just like you're like talking to everyone, you're like having interactions, then you have to break, set up a map, and then like everyone switches to the map. It very much feels like when you're playing like a actual like an RPG on like a console, and then like you're in the overworld and then it just shifts. It feels like two different planes, and it doesn't, and it feels discongruous.
It's like Phantasy Star
to me.
I'm playing Phantasy Star. I'm doing all this stuff, and then we cut to the turn-by-turn combat where you're on one side of the screen, I'm on one side of the screen, you do a move, and then I do a move, and we watch numbers tick. I don't mind combat, but it needs to be dynamic. It needs to be fun. It needs to be interesting. And as someone running the game, that means I have to invest in things like layer actions or epic actions or environmental hazards. Like a fight with a werewolf is fun, right? It should be. We did this in Chaos Scar, but it wasn't a werewolf. It was a guy wearing an outfit. You know what made that fun? Was him running through town, hit and run the players. He never stayed in one place. He would hit them and then run and hide. It was the fact that at the end, they figured out, oh shit, here's where he's going. He's going to attack this NPC we like. The reveal that, oh, I'm not attacking her. I'm declaring my love for her. And this is all because I do love her. And then the house catching on fire. And then being like, oh shit, we got to protect this person. Their house is on fire. And we got to fight this person that we have realized is now buck nutty crazy. Like there is no talking this person down. They're insane. They've lost their mind. They're wearing a magical item that has helped them go insane. Shit. What do we do? Well, you fight to the death at that point. You know, but I also like games where they're like, well, you know, same thing, Chaos Guard. They could have fought those goblins, and instead they were like, let's talk to these fuckers, and now they're buddies. Same thing with the kobolds that live out on the farms. Could have fought them, but they talked to them and like, oh, you guys are refugees? Like from what? And then they found out like, oh, bad guys did this to you? Well, we're going to fuck up those bad guys. You guys can live out here now. We'll protect you. You know, being good problem solvers and encouraging creative solutions in a world that constantly moves. If you do some fucked up stuff, there should be consequence for it. Like the world should catch up with you. Karma should catch up with you. So, you know, there's always pushback.
No, yeah, like again, like this is like really like helping me because like I really wanted to do like Planescape because it's like my favorite official D&D campaign setting. It's just like there's so many options, and I wanted to give like my players those options, but just like when I would have to like set up like all the possible options, that just seemed exhausting. Just like because like when literally like you can go to Mount Olympus and in like the same session go down to the pits of hell, like how do you prepare for all the points in between?
So for Down Outlands, I just were like, what I just did was I constantly kept them on, and this is bad to say, I constantly kept them on a bullet train. There was always something that was happening that needed immediate attention right now. It was because, and it made it easier because they were all playing kids. Was I needed something that kept them on blinders the whole time. So the choices were all in the adventure and not what is the adventure. They were constantly racing to like the next thing. I tried to make it as like, meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, as I possibly could make it. That they were just running to the next disaster. And it worked. People, Cassandra still is like, when are we going back to Down Outlands? Because it was like a constant sprint. There were very few things that we weren't sprinting to the next. We were always sprinting to the next destination, but then stopping and meandering at the destination. I mean, they were at not Mount Olympus. I can't think of the place that it's called, Mount Celestia, for like 10 adventures, doing all kinds. They were in Hades for a long time. And the fact that Hades was like a 1950s television dad made them so happy that he was like, hey, champ, that I tried to play with archetypes a lot and do weird stuff that was unexpected. Cassandra and I are having this conversation a lot now because she's running for people. Just because it says goblin on the 10 does not mean you get goblin. In 4th edition, was it 4th? Yeah, 4th edition, first group, fought a bunch of goblins, and they were just like, oh, we're going to stomp the shit out of these little fuckers because we're like 10th level. Until all the goblins pulled strings on their outfits and wings popped out. And then they were like, I'm sorry, what? And started throwing, oil bombs. And then, they were flying goblins. Or in a group that we ran for a little while in DDT, vampire goblins. The PCs fucking hated it. Or that the person who was in charge, who was the big bad in that situation, was a fire giant vampire. It's like, oh, here's something you're gonna hate. But all the goblins
stinks.
Throwing a horde of goblins at PCs that all are vampiric, like vampire spawn, they go from being like, yeah, let's cut down these 100 goblins to going, I'm running out of spells. Like, I'm a big believer if I'm going to use 4th edition things like minions, and I'm going to give you like these big AoE attacks. Yeah, fuck yeah. Use Thunderwave, use all that stuff. My job isn't to run you out of hit points. My job is to run you out of spells and abilities. Because I want you to get down to the nitty gritty of like, I don't have any big attacks left. I just have sword and board, and my hit points are starting to chip. That's where I think you get true drama and true like decision making. And then I think Rule of Cool kicks in hard. Because I love then PCs start thinking real hard outside the box. They do things like, I'm going to run up that hill and see that boulder. I'm going to take my father's sword, I'm going to jam it into the ground, and I'm going to use that as a fulcrum to turn that boulder into a weapon. Okay, roll. Maybe the sword breaks. And what happens if the sword breaks? Well, guess what? If it breaks, cool. Because now we've got an entire new story path to go down. How do you get this sword fixed? And building in beats for every player to where they have at least their own set of at least one subplot going on. Chaos Scar right now, everybody's got something. Even players that haven't played in a while. Mike hasn't played him forever, but he had a love interest and he had a learning from another mage. He had become friends with another mage and kind of this exchange of things. Cassandra has the massive Odiug at the bottom of the city that she trades candy with, and she has the goblin children she brings candy to. She's just basically a candy dealer. Ryan has his store, him helping his troll buddy set up their candy shop, which also ties into Cassandra's candy stuff. But also he has the NPC who the NPC carpenter who she cut off her hand to save him in the Feywild, so she can't be a carpenter anymore, who's in love with him, and he does not reciprocate. Now, what would you do if you're a character and you give away the one thing that defines you for someone who then goes, I don't. That whole thing then has to be resolved, but you have to resolve it in chunks. Here's a little bit here, here's a little bit there, because I want the players to constantly be going, okay, but when is it my turn next? But when are we going to do my thing? And that's why I use the meanwhile. I do it all the time. I'm literally looking at the clock while we're playing, and I do my games, 2-hour games, 2 to 3 hour games in 20-minute chunks. That way I can separate you and we can still hit. I mean, you played that DC game. Same thing.
Yeah.
I want you to all have motivation and ideas and things you're doing, but I want it to be like going. And I need it. And it's the easiest way for me to keep it going is if I chop it. If I'm just constantly chopping and knowing in the last 30 minutes that I have to hit a cliffhanger because I have to have you like, what are we doing next? I want the end of the session to everyone being like, oh, fuck you for quitting right now. It's like, no, I'm not quitting. It's just like, I want you to have to wait and think about what you're going to do.
Oh, like, again, sorry, like.
No, don't apologize.
I'm not sorry, but just like a verbal tick. But no, like this is all like really making sense. It's like where I've been like hitting like problems with like the campaign and just like because like I feel like I have to like do so much pre-work to get like the combat sessions set up. Like I am like ignoring like the part which I really want to do, like getting to the like players, like figuring like all that out. And basically like my whole thing was just like everyone wanted to do D&D because D&D is easy for like the character creation and such, but I really enjoy like the DC game that we were in because it just like had like simple rules and we just like went from bit to bit, so it was like more continuous and that's like why I wanted to like do other like that's why I was originally like syncing other games, but other people weren't familiar with those. But like this sounds stupid, but I didn't realize I could just take out the annoying parts of D&D, which I don't want to deal with as a like game master, and just like do the bits that I want for like my folks and all that. And I honestly think like most of them would be fine if we're like more like sped up combat, because also combat, like which in my experience, like just getting through like one single like encounter like the last time we played took about 2 hours, and that's not fun. And just
do you have
at least that's not fun to me, and because like people are just waiting around.
Can your PC see hit points of their enemies and everything?
I do bloodied, so like if they are like if they get under like half, like I
turn that off.
Turn that off.
Here's why. Because if it's dragging, then you just kill it. that young dragon fight in Chaos Scar, Cassandra she cheated without knowing she was cheating. She had polymorph and she turned herself into a giant owl or eagle. She technically at that level should not be able to turn into that. So we had to retcon later that she had a ring that allowed her to do that. And then she had to spend hit points to use it. But that fight was with a dragon. That fight went 3 rounds maybe of run and gun. And I was like, this could be a really long fight. But then she critted. The other thing I do is, and James can attest to this, I use this thing that someone made up. I can't think what it's called now. But every round is a +1. So your attack, bad guys too. So round 1, it's a crit is on 20. Round 2, it's on a 19. Round 3, it's on an 18. It just escalates. So all of a sudden, you're all critting on 16s.
It's called escalation. You just said to me. He said what we said.
It's called Crimson Escalation is the thing. Every round the crit threshold escalates, and that becomes wild fast. The other thing is minions. James did this in a DDT adventure where we were on a train. And my character was like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of character. Like literally, he was like the Hulk. And James, you threw so many minions at us, and it was so fun because they're 1 hit point monsters. You know, you just take a monster and you say, this monster might have an armor class of 18, and there's 30 of them, but they only have 1 hit point. So you hit them and they're dead. So you can work through just hordes of bad guys, and it feels Lord of the Rings-esque. You know, you feel like you're the greatest hero in the lands. But the reality is none of these guys have any hit points. So you're just punching empty bags. And as the DM, I don't have to tell you if one of those characters out there has 50 hit points. Another thing that I saw someone else do is they use it for like large, big combat. They use a pool. So they do use like the screen, and they'll have like 50 bad guys. There's a pool of 100 hit points. And then they just decide when they're taking miniatures off, knowing that the PCs are killing out of this pool of hit points. Both of those are viable. The other thing with D&D, any RPG game, there are no rules. They're the rules you choose to use. At your table, it's your rules. At your table, it's your lore. So the rules don't fucking matter. A monster manual, a DMG, all of those things, they're open to interpretation and homebrew. Like if someone comes to me and they say, I want to play this character, but this type of character, but I want to do that, I want to tweak this or I want to tweak that. I'm like, okay, let's make sure it's sort of balanced, and then we'll roll. It's like I tell people all the time who are casters. Just because you are casting magic missile does not mean it needs to look like a little arrow of magic. It could look like energy butterflies. It could look like this. It could look like you should be making these spells yours. You cast Ray of Frost, cool. Give it a different name. Maybe you yell out the name when you do it, like Ken and Ryu's, shooting out their Hadoukens.
Hadouken.
Yeah, I mean, name it. Give it something to make it yours. Like I was reading an article not too long ago about swords, and they were saying how D&D has robbed us of what swords could be cool, how swords could be cool, because they were saying like swords should have names, they should have histories, they should have purpose. So they were saying like every sword is a shit sword until you find a sword that has a name, and that sword is a +1/+1 non-magical sword. It might just be this is sword, but later on in a Forgotten Tomb, you find a sword that's named like Brass Hilt. Brass Hilt is a +1/+1 non-magical sword. It's special. And then later on, you might find Gold Hilt. And Gold Hilt is a +2/+2 magical sword, making it even better. Or it's a silvered sword. Those things should have like purpose. James and I use lots of little cheats that we've learned over time and that we've shared with one another. Like I've started using flashback. You guys all get one, and montage. You all get one in a session, where you can say, "Oh, you know what? I do have that thing that is we needed to get this guy." Flashback to how I got it, or why I have it. And then montage is like us doing a big like. I'm okay with shopping episodes, but sometimes they do get a little bit much. And I might have players who are like, I fucking hate this. So they might go, oh, we're montaging our shopping. It's just a big montage. So I'll say, everyone tell me one thing you did during the montage. Just keeping it rolling, keeping it moving. You can use little things like that. Nate had brought up the I know a guy thing, which I don't know if it would work in every game. Like, I don't know how much it would work in a lot of games for me, but I think for like DC, that would definitely work. Is every player once per game can go, oh, I know a guy. And then you have to tell me who that guy is and how it's important to what we're doing. And it's a great tool. Like I've seen other game masters use it, and it's fucking awesome. Because then it also challenges the players to, they have to have something ready to tell you and how it's important to them. So they build their own world around them. I would also say like Beyond the Wall, which is a 5e clone, when you make your characters at the beginning, you also make the town that you're all from. And one thing you do in that is you all I'm trying to remember, James, correct me if I'm wrong. You all tell 2 things that you know are true about locations around your town. 2 things you think are true and 2 things you know that are a lie. And that sets up what's around your town, like that you might adventure at. The other thing it does is it has like a escalation chart. Like let's say lizardmen are the big bad guys, and then there's undead that are the big bad guys, and like a wizard. Okay, well, if I go deal with a lizard man threat for 3 adventures, those other things escalate in the world. Like if I don't pay attention to these things, they will keep growing. They don't just go on pause because I'm not directly dealing with them. The world has to move forward. It has to continue to evolve and change because it doesn't revolve around the players. So they don't touch something, it means it keeps moving. Also, I try to keep in mind NPCs die. They die whether it's by a sword or by a cold or whatever. They might come back to a town and want to talk to this guy they know who they're excited to see. They might be dead. Okay, well, what happened? He's old. He died. This happened. Okay, well, so then it's like, okay, you're in this town. What happens next? I think there's a lot of options. It's just the biggest thing to remember is it's your game. And you should never be afraid to get experimental. And you should ask your players, like, when we used to play in person, I had a pool of dice in the middle of the table that had pluses or minuses or blanks on them. And I would tell the players, you can draw from that anytime you want, as many times as you want. But when it's gone, it's gone. And when it's gone, that means I'm going to do something big. So it's just this looming threat of like, you could start, you have to roll these dice. You may not get anything from it, but there's like 20 in the middle of the table. So, again, more escalation. There should be constant unknowns going on that can move the world. Like the hand of fate, basically, the invisible hand of fate.
I think good.
Sorry, I went off on a huge rant. I apologize.
No. So I really enjoyed it, and it was like good advice. It's just like it's also, I hate this word, but I use it so often, I might actually like it. It's really very synergistic with the rest of my life, and just realizing I just follow a lot of dumb rules just because they're dumb rules, not because they actually help or I like them. So,
I think that's hard not to. You fall into pattern. We all fall into patterns of order, and it's like, okay, well, how can I find ways to not subvert order, but find ways to work smarter, not harder, and not follow a system of rules that literally make me fucking miserable, that don't need to be followed.
Like, D&D is supposed to be like, role playing should be fun for me. I shouldn't follow rules that just make me miserable and like make me do more work. Like the work which I put into like role playing it should be fun. It shouldn't feel like homework or like a second fucking job.
Yes. James went through that real bad with D&D DT. I mean, also, it shouldn't be a thing where you're running for people that become exhausting, for lack of a better term, because they have no appreciation for what you're doing, and they just want to quote unquote win Dungeons and Dragons. So they make it
Yeah.
so fucking difficult on you and what you're trying to get done. And James, I know, did a really good job, better than I've ever done, of setting his players down and basically being like, "We're not doing this shit. Like, you can either get on or get along." I'm tired of you guys just snipping at each other, not in game, but just really passive aggressively in real life. I'm not your fucking parent, and I'm not your babysitter without getting paid.
Yeah. No, it's
You-
like
you know,
the last campaign, which I did before this one, like it like stopped because again, like having trouble like getting folks together. But like after like the first like combat session, like one player was just like, "Oh, you're being mean to me because like you didn't tell me that there was like I could do an attack of opportunity, even though I like introduced it beforehand, and they played D&D before, and then also for some odd reason they intentionally started lying to the other players for like no like reason, just like lying, and I'm just like, nah,
With that,
Nope.
like
It's I
like
can't remember what James, you might remember. Who was the like big streaming person that told their players at one point, "It's not my job to know your spells, but
I don't know, but yeah, I remember
it's
that.
your job, and if you don't know them, then I'm not going to wait on you. And
Yeah.
if you tell me that," which is funny because I know I listened to Mim Bim Bam. I listened to the Adventure Zone, and it doesn't matter who's running, but they're constantly on Clint, their dad, because he will misinterpret spells. I don't think he does it on purpose, but he definitely over elaborates what a spell can do constantly.
Mhm.
And they're constantly, it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. And Griffin has had to tell him because he runs the majority of the games. Clint, if I have to look this up and I find out you're wrong, I'm just going to give you disadvantage for the rest of the combat. Like, it's your job to be the steward of your character. If you refuse to do that, that's not my problem. Because you know what? There's at least two other people at this table, me and the other player. If you can't handle your responsibility of fun, the quotient of fun for the other two of us, then maybe this isn't for you. Maybe I'm not the DM for you. Do your shit.
yeah, you're not like the like I've heard like stories like from like my group down in Florida, just like they had like people who like just wouldn't make their character, wouldn't level their character. They just came to roll dice.
If you want to do that, let's play Hero Quest.
Yeah.
Let's play a board game. There's plenty of dungeon crawler board games, and they're good. I mean, there's some of them are dare I say great, but they are about rolling dice and doing combat.
Yeah.
We can do that, and we can still tell a story. There's games that have a loose narrative, but then we're not playing D&D.
Yeah. And like for that, it's just like as I've like gotten older, like since I've like playing and just like combat's fine. Like combat's fun. Like if you like combat, no shade on you. Like I can understand like why a lot of people would like super love it. Like you can like min-max, you can like find like good synergies between, again, I think that might actually be one of my favorite words.
It's a great thing though to play in a game.
Yeah.
My wife loves to find synergistic reactions in her characters. How can I tie these three things together to make a combo?
Yeah. It's like I had like a friend who like more often than not, like one thing which they really wanted to do in like combat is just like they wanted to uh like go up to like someone and just like heat metal and just like cook someone in like armor.
Mm-hmm. That's a
Yeah,
great.
just like
That's great.
yeah.
It's going to take you like 5 rounds, but it's if you want to grapple somebody for 5 rounds and do that, I'm here for it because I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you
So
advantage. Yeah, I'm gonna make that a thing where you're gonna get advantages for trying something. So rule of cool, but also realize that it's not going to be easy just because
no,
it's cool.
no, and like especially like for like the group which I'm like want to like campaign for and all that. I think just like learning how to streamline and just like using like the rules which work best for myself and that will make like the experience like much more interesting and also like take pressure off of me. Just like I would rather like spend like sort of like this. Like, oh, also super happy you're doing prep school again. Awesome. I'm
I'm
not sure
happy
where my
with it.
camera is.
It was a long time to get back to being able to set this long.
Yeah.
So I
So
was
and I'm
like,
happy that you're doing better, Ben.
I appreciate it. It was real weird to go into that doctor's appointment. I'm like, can I go back to work like Monday? And they were like, you probably should take more time. I'm like, I'm fucking going stir crazy. And they're like, okay, you just
Yeah.
have to be real careful. I'm like, perfect. Hey man,
No.
when you're able to take a shower again and not feel like you're gonna die at the end of it, it's kind of amazing. When you can walk like a normal person, when you can my friend Doug was over yesterday. He was like, I almost cried. You came up and down the stairs like a person.
Do
Um,
stairs now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can do it. Some almost all the time. Some of the time though, like I get real worn out. And when I get real worn out, it gets harder and harder. But they're
Stairs
like,
are
you're in
hard. Like,
stamina, baby. I gotta build that stamina back up. Because
no, like
as they reminded me, like we went into your spine and just with a huge claw machine and pulled a bunch of shit out. So
no. Also, don't feel bad. I do not have stair stamina a lot of the time. I say because I came from a place that had no stairs for like 30 plus years.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's not been a fun experience. But
yeah,
we're on the other side of it now. So
yeah. And you seem like a lot better. And like getting back to like prep school, like I would much rather like spend just like the time that I would like spend setting up a map, finding a map, getting it like aligned to the grid, like being here and like coming up with yay stairs.
stairs, I guess.
Yeah. Like just coming up with like weird scenarios. It's just like I'm gonna do the magpie thing with this campaign now. Just like so and that's like easy to get them drawn in. Just like have like the magpie take something from them, and you're just like, "Fuck, I want my thing. Let's go after that fucking bird."
If you really want to fuck with them, have the bag man take it.
Yeah,
Because man, the bag man is something else. I love the bag man unapologetically. But man, you want to give PCs fucking you want to give them a real creeped out feeling that you never have to resolve. Bagman. The
yeah,
Bagman is the best, in my opinion, the single best piece of lore that has come out of 5e because it's so much left up to each individual DM to use the way they want to use it, and it's the threat of a threat, and it just has to be like you lost it, you had something in your bag and you can't find it.
Magman.
have you ever heard of the Bagman? And then it's just this whisper campaign. And it doesn't even have to be true. It could be just an urban legend, you know. But this idea that there's this thing in your, especially in your bag of holding or your haversack, that is just filching, and it may come for you, and pull you into this extra dimensional space.
Oh, also like something which you could do to like amplify it, like every time they reach into the bag, just like, hey, can you roll a Constitution shaving throw real quick?
Or even just a wisdom save or something. Or you just even saying you feel something gently caress your hand. It could just be something in the bag. Or it could be something in the bag. Yeah. You can do lots of fun stuff with that.
Yeah. No. So I like this. I like this direction which I would like want to go with. And just like, it sounds silly, but I like felt like I had to very much be like, follow like the rules as written as like close as possible, like do like combat, because like everyone like said like they wanted to do D&D, when honestly I think they just wanted to do like the character creation and like the general like rules and just like the stats, because you know that's like, that has sort of like, especially for like newer players, that's easier to like relate to, since like D&D is very digestible, and like I like that. And you know, like there's some things which like I don't like about D&D, and you know what, I can just divest myself of them and just like cobble together my own like system and scenario that like works for like what I need, what my players need and want, and just like go from there. Yeah, I'm going to like,
the next time the the Bagman's the best. The next time we do any type of big dungeon crawl, I'm going to use the torch thing from Shadow Dark, which is you as the DM set a timer of 60 minutes on your phone. The underground is dark. It's real dark. If you don't have night vision, you need a torch to see. And for those characters who do have like, you know, whatever it is, night vision, dark vision, I would just tell them you can see things in the shadows, in the darkness, that are only being kept away by the torchlight. And when that and then so you know in 60 minutes, real time, that torch goes out. You give them you give them 2 warnings basically. At 30 minutes, you say, your torch looks like it's burned down. At 15 minutes, you tell them it's starting to flicker. They have to take time to restart a torch. Also, in that particular game, you have the backpack mini game of like you have so many slots in a backpack. Yeah. And a torch takes up like 2 slots. So who's going to carry all these torches? You need these torches to keep the darkness away. If you go out at night into a forest, which technically is just a big dungeon in the dark. Yeah. I mean, it's a great mechanic that she made up for her game, which again is very much a D&D 5e clone. And she made like $3 million on Kickstarter. I think a lot of it was on the backbone of she took a lot of this stuff from 5e and she was playing a certain way at her table and she just codified it. There's a lot of stuff in that book to steal from. But to me, that's the one. It's the most gimmicky one, but it's also, for me, that's the one. You just make sure your players are well aware of the changes you make.
Good communication, like any relationship.
And if they're very visual people, you just put it down in a document. We will be using Crimson Escalation. Here's what that means. We will be using, this or that, how you do critical damage. I do critical damage it's, whatever times 2. And then if you roll 2 crits in a row, like I will ask you to confirm your crit. If you crit again, that's quad damage. So I'd say roll everything and then times everything, including your bonuses, by 2.
Yeah.
Crits should feel ginormous. Otherwise, why call them a critical hit if you're just rolling like a 3 on them? To me, that feels gross.
Yeah.
Run the game like the game you would want to play.
There's a reason I keep coming back to this channel.
Because we do dumb shit. We're dumb boys doing dumb things.
No, we're great, great men doing great things of little import.
Yeah.
I'm just here making puns into chat, which I fucking love.
So do we. Well, I mean, I hope that helped.
Oh no, so it did. It's like very much like inspired me to like going forward, like how I want to like set up my game. Like I'm going to like talk to my players and all that, and this like one like it's taking like a lot of pressure off like doing like back end setup, which I really don't find enjoyable, and just like slows everything down. So then like I can just like do other things. So I can like do like logistics for like the actual like getting people here, like making sure the space is set up and all that. It's just like I'm not putting all this effort into something which I'm not enjoying, which just like drags out the process and takes away enjoyment from everyone else. So there's no reason to like put all the energy into this when it can be put into other things which will get a better net result in I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. And also, you'll be less disenfranchised.
Yeah, just like
And I hope you know, you can always, I mean, just let us know, like, hey, it's Sunday, I want to come on and talk about my game. And
yeah, like
it should be, the idea of it was to be an open forum where people could work on their games together.
no, that's when I really like that. Like I just like came on today and just like, Ben's like doing something on Twitch. I wonder if it's Foreman. No, it's prep school. Fucking awesome. I've got socks.
Good. I mean, because I needed them today, especially.
No, but yeah, just like so. Yeah, I don't. So I do know. It's just like it should be fun for everyone, and just like also other things in my life I realized, and I think a lot of people do it. You put all this energy into something which you feel like there's this expectation to do, when actually there isn't, and we're just like following like these weird rules which somehow have become ingrained in us, and they just like zap all our energy to do this shit that we actually want.
I was watching a video yesterday or the day before that they were talking about the infatuation with a zombie apocalypse and why we yearn for those type of things. And they were saying one of the reasons we yearn for it is because it's the elimination of those self-imposed rules. Yeah. Rather than me going to a job, for 40 hours a week and buckling down and doing things that sometimes I don't want to do, or for some folks, I don't want to do at all. You could do something like go fishing and just contemplate your place in the universe, and it's quiet. Their thing was like, just think if you remove social media, if you remove the internet, you would interact with people. And if there were less people, you would want to interact with people. That right now, you're literally just being inundated constantly. And the author said, just think about how many times you pick up your phone in a day. Sometimes count it. How much you are chained to that device. And think about every single one of those could be a time you talk to a person.
No, yeah, it's eh. I just came here for puns. But I left away with philosophy.
It was an interesting video to hear somebody talk about it in that, you know, in that way.
No, but yeah, just like talking about like my personal like life for like a little bit. Like this year, like last year, it was very frustrating at work and all that. But like this year, like I'm going into it, okay, like I'm like setting boundaries. I'm like going to like focus on things that like matter to me and just like are enriching for me, like while still like doing like the necessary things which I need to do like for my department, but just like I'm not just like going to like force all this stuff onto me when there's like how many other people in my department which can like be doing some of it and just like all that and just like and like already like I'm technically like doing like more work like right now, but I feel more fulfilled by it and it's stuff which I enjoy to do, which I want to do. So yeah, just like getting back to like the weird like the not the weird like the zombie apocalypse thing of just like once you like sort of like shed like all like the self-imposed and like societal imposed expectations that you put on yourself, things become more manageable and like less drudgery. I think
Yeah.
it's a good word. Let's go with drudgery.
I think sometimes it is just like, how often do you take the time, do any of us take the time to slow down and just breathe? To try to figure out
Very,
like, okay, what are we really, what are we doing? Like, what are we supposed to be doing? Like, what am I doing right now? And does it matter? And does it, I mean, I don't know. I try to think about that. Like, like I put in the thing about like the private chat about like, I'm dying to get some doing today
yeah.
because it matters to me, and because it kind of just rips a little bit of the of just my anxiety and stress away, even though it's monotonous and it's not super exciting, but it's exciting to me. I want to go see what's going on in my fish ponds. I want to go fish in trash pond, trash pond, trash pond, trash pond.
Oh, I totally misinterpreted what you said. I thought you wanted Mountain Dew.
No, Stardew Valley.
Stardew.
Baja Blast. Baja Blast. I don't fucks with
Baja
normal.
Blast is the best Mountain Dew.
It is. Also, I always thought that it was supposed to be melon flavored. It is not. It is.
Baja Blast?
Yeah.
It's tropical lime.
Yeah. What the fuck is tropical lime? If not,
Like
no.
you know how a lime is, but it's like a little bit further south or north, depending on what hemisphere you're in.
But this is tropical.
It says that I always thought it was like honeydew and like mango or pineapple or something like that. It's like the mellow melon plus the like citrusy thing. I always got the citrus part, but like lime. And then I was tasting some the other day. Because I saw it on the bottle and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's great. It's just great. Now I want Baja Blast. Fuck you guys. I mean, I love you guys, but I want Baja Blast.
I don't remember what we had for dinner last night. It was something. Oh, we had Scrubway last night, and I was like,
Scrubway, like actually Subway?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was like, "What do you want for dinner?" And we were looking at different things because it was cheat day, and I was like, I want trash food. I want Subway.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
trash food. Trash.
Yeah. The first two bites of my 6-inch sandwich, and I was like, "Oh, this was a mistake." And then I realized it was because I was just getting turkey and bread, and then the rest of everything kicked in, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I was very happy with it. And then because I realized we were out of ice cream, I ordered some fucking Stone Cold Creamery. And Cassandra was not happy about me doing that. Oh, meatball is my go-to. And she was like,
I like a
God
veggie
damn it."
delight.
She was like, why did you, that's not cheap. Why did you do that? And I was like, because I want a fucking ice cream. It's cheat day.
Yeah.
Is it the right decision? Probably not, but it's not one that I'm going to regret.
No.
That's kind of the thing. It's like, is it something I can do and not absolutely, it's not going to break me.
Yeah.
I've been trying to live by this ideal of when someone says you didn't have to do that, of saying, yep, I'm well aware. I wanted to do it because I don't have to do anything I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I want to
You
pay
just-
taxes. It helps
Like you take ownership and agency.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Ironically, last night, leftover tacos. No Baja Blasto, since I'm trying to cut out like as much like sugary drinks other than really milk. I know I'm a grown ass person, but I love fucking milk.
Lactose intolerance, maybe.
I love drinking milk.
Milk wrecks me. I love chocolate milk, but milk wrecks me.
Yeah.
So on that note, I want to play some Stardew Valley. So
All right.
we've been running for a little over 2 hours. Hey, prep school's back. So we'll be back next Sunday.
Oh!
We'll be back next Sunday. And almost every Sunday, we'll work on our games. It's an open forum. If people want to jump on and talk about their games, they can just let me know. Yes, Spike, we will kick it on Discord. We'll it's an open thing for a couple hours for us to work on our games, hang out, and support one another. And I want to say thank you to everyone who used to watch, who watches now, who comes on, like Mitch. Thank you so much. James, thank you so much.
Before we go, can I share like the one figure that I got last year technically?
Yes. Ming is coming back too, even if it's just me. I don't know if Colin will be joining me or not.
So technically this is the one figure I bought. It was only one part, but I haven't shown it off yet. But it is my maggot with the custom Dave Wonder head.
I love it.
This
I
is like
fucking love it.
probably going to be one of the last action figures I ever have. I might actually like get like a second maggot body just to like have like the regular maggot head on, but if not, I'm just going to keep this since this is the maggot Dave sent me. I feel it's only appropriate that the Dave head is on this guy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I seriously love it.
Yeah.
That's a great Dave head too. All right.
is.
Well, speaking of which, watch the Dave Wonder channel. Dave's great. He has lots of cool people on, including Matt. Matt couldn't be here today. Matt will be back when Matt can make it. Next week, and we'll probably keep working on this because I put the Discord poll up for not just the players, but for anybody on Discord of what the next session should be for Chaos Car. We'll start talking a little bit about DC Showcase Presents soon, as well as we need to start talking some Star Wars because next month it's on, baby. We're getting back on track. Beta games, maybe tomorrow night we might play some Minecraft. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Something we might do. Until then, hey, thank you guys. We love you and keep working on your games.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Beard. Always great.
Bye.
Bleep blorp.
Big Pharma for life.